Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
The College Football National Championship is coming up. Let's break it down.
In Major League Baseball, we're going to be covering free agency and cover the players that have yet to be signed.
And the Utah Jazz have had a recent resurgence. What's to lead to their recent success?
All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I am living the dream, man. Living the dream. Sorry, folks, we're coming a day shorter on this episode than we normally do. We actually had Jazz tickets last night.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are lucky enough to sign up for the Jazz Plus, that came before the season started, you got 2 free tickets, and we used my tickets last night. So that was kind of fun.
Awesome. Good game. Well, we'll get into it a little bit more when we go into some Jazz talk, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Before we get into all that, let's go ahead and do our pre-show cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers to you.
And cheers to you, my friends.
All right. So what do you say we get started with some college football talk, huh?
Let's do it, man. Time to determine the national champion, huh?
That's right. That's right. So the 2 teams that are playing, we have the Washington Huskies.
Yep.
Who are playing Michigan Wolverines.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how we're going to break this down is we both took a side here, and we're going to kind of explain who we think we're going to make a case for each team on how they're going to win this game.
Yeah, each team's path to victory.
Exactly. And then from there, after that, we'll kind of cover who we think are going to win the game. And
yep, stay tuned to the end. Make sure you see our predictions.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you think. Make sure you leave us a comment down below. Hit that like button. Let us know what you think. We want to hear it.
Absolutely. Before we get in the content, we really quickly want to mention that we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. We are 688 strong at the time of recording this. Really appreciate the support, folks. Help push us closer to that 1,000 subscribers. Once we get there, we're going to be giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure that you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that.
Yep.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with Washington. Does that sound good to you?
Love it.
Okay. So go ahead and break it down. Give me Washington's path to success here.
Washington Huskies. Their path to success, in my opinion, all the way around is this number 1 passing offense and number 10 in total offense throughout the year. Okay. These guys can really, really put the offensive scoring power on. Their number 10 total offense is averaging 473 yards per game. They've obviously got the Heisman Trophy winner, runner-up, and Michael Penix Jr. He's going to keep doing all the things he needs to do. The Huskies have a great receiving core. They've got 3 really good receivers, and Rome Odunze, McMillan, and Polk are both fantastic. These guys are good, man. This Husky team is really good. They can put it on. Their defense is much better than all the statistics say. Their offensive line is fantastic. As long as they keep doing Washington Husky things, they're going to be just fine against this Michigan Wolverines team.
I like it. Michigan is favored by 4.5.
Yeah.
And it's the over-under line is 55.5 on this game, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, folks, let us know in the comments down below what you think about that as far as Washington's path to victory. Let us know if we missed anything. We'd love to hear from you on that one. Would you like to hear Michigan's path to victory?
I'd love to. Let's get it.
Okay, so I'm going to actually start with Washington for why Michigan has a path to victory here.
Okay.
Now, it just came out, I believe, yesterday that Dylan Johnson, when he was carted off the field, he was reported, I believe, yesterday that he is planning on playing. He's going to be available. However, if he isn't 100%, that does make Washington kind of a one-dimensional offense, which is kind of a bit of a problem.
Absolutely.
Michigan has the second-ranked passing defense in the country.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary is great overall when it comes to that, and their defensive strength was on full force in the Rose Bowl, limiting the SEC champions Alabama to a season low 288 yards. That also came with 6 sacks, 4 in the first half.
They were all over him.
Yeah.
They were all over Jalen Milroe in that first half.
Showing why they were the number 1 nationally ranked defense, total defense.
Yep.
In the country.
Yep.
So McCarthy is one of the most reliable passing quarterbacks in college football. And this was apologies, guys, I couldn't get anything after some rankings on this after the bowl game. So some of these stats are going to be not 100%. This is the closest I could get to at end of season. But some of the McCarthy stats here, as far as supporting him being one of the most reliable quarterbacks, is he is ESPN in total quarterback rankings have him first. The PFF QB had him tied for first. Completions, he's second percentage-wise in completion passes. Passing efficiency is second. And also there's Blake Corum, who leads the country in rushing touchdowns with 25, which is a Michigan single season record. And he's also rushed for 3,500 yards in the last 3 seasons.
Blake Corum is an absolute beast of a running back, dude. And he can do it all because he can catch it out of the backfield. I mean, he literally put Michigan on his back to beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl.
Absolutely.
I mean, they went into overtime. They handed it to him twice, and he took it into the end zone. He's like, okay, this is over.
It's over.
Doing. Yeah, give it back to the defense. Let's go.
Absolutely. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I think in the two frames of that, when it comes to offense, unless Dylan Johnson's 100%, which I don't think he's going to be, that kind of limits what Washington can do offensively.
Yeah.
And the other case for Michigan, they're not going to be limited offensively. They have one of the top, rushing games in the country.
Fantastic quarterback.
And a fantastic, reliable quarterback. Now, obviously, between the two teams, Penix Jr., runner-up to the Heisman Trophy. So, obviously he's going to have the edge there. But as far as complete teams with the number 1 ranked defense and a pretty potent offense, that can rank right up there, I think that's going to be Michigan's path to victory.
Absolutely. All right. You ready to hear who I think is actually going to win this football game?
Yeah.
These are the last 2 undefeated teams in the country. This is exactly the way it's supposed to be into the national championship. They're 1 and 2 rankings.
Yep.
Obviously, the College Football Playoff Committee got it right. Even putting Alabama in, or whatever you want to say, to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
As far as who I think is actually going to win this football game, I have Washington. I'm going to take the over. I think that Washington scores more points and puts it up. I don't think this Michigan defense is absolutely fantastic, but I do not think they have seen a passing attack anywhere near what Washington is about to throw at them. The best defense that they played all season was Ohio State. They were ranked 36 at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And Alabama's offense is, they're ranked okay. They did okay. Check out our last video. All the rankings and stuff are in there. Jalen Milroe couldn't throw the football.
No.
It was very evident. Michigan took advantage of it. They stuffed the box. They were going to load up against the run. You are not going to be able to do that against this Washington team.
No.
You can load the box all you want and try to get to the quarterback. Michigan has the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line. They allow less than 1 sack per game. I'm not saying they don't get to him a couple times, right? But if you give Penix a chance to get back there and make his reads, there's going to be big plays. And they've got so many receivers, so many options downfield. I think they continue to score. I think the defense is good enough that they can get a couple of stops. And realistically, I think Washington can definitely come away with this and become the national champion.
Weren't they favored? Weren't they underdogs by 4.5?
They're underdogs in every game this season.
But
it feels like,
but it was 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like their magic number,
Yeah.
But hey, it's not a Washington football game if they're not,
They just keep feeding off it, man. I'm telling you, I think these guys see these national lines, and Kalen DeBoer puts it up on the biggest screen he can and says, the only people that think you can win is you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which isn't. You can't give people bulletin board material.
So what about you, man? Who you actually got winning this one?
So ultimately, this comes down to whether or not Washington's front 4 can protect Penix Jr.
Yep.
That's basically what this comes down to.
And this is a tough Michigan line.
Yeah.
Right. This is one of the best defenses in college football. You can say all you want. They stood toe to toe with Alabama.
Arguably, they're the best offensive line in the country. This Washington team has.
Yep.
Quiet down, Ohio State fans. I hear you already. Just typing away. Just quiet down
already.
Okay. And Washington has 3 NFL ready receivers.
That's correct.
3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the Atlanta Falcons could use 2 of them. But that's a different sport. We won't cover that right now. The head coach for Washington is 6-0 against AP ranked teams on the road or at a neutral site. I got Washington winning this game as well. And solely for one reason and one reason only. It is very Pac-12 for the Pac-12 to come away with a national championship. They
completely break apart and disassemble.
Completely break down.
Yeah.
That just is perfect for the Pac-12. So yeah, that's kind of it's not really my thinking, but I think that it lines up perfectly. That's what's basically going to happen. But I've doubted Washington all year long. I've been basically putting Oregon ahead of them all year long, and it's about that time where you can't spell bandwagon without WA. So I'm going to make sure I'm taking that.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan's got, if anybody's got a shot to beat them, it's Michigan, right? That defense is elite. It's first ranked in the country. They got a shot. Do I think they pull it out? Absolutely not. I think it's Washington 30, and I think it's Michigan 28.
Ooh, you're thinking it actually a little bit closer than that. I think it's more like Washington 35, Michigan 21.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So we're both taking the over.
Absolutely taking the over. Yeah.
I just and a big thing on what it is I just think this Washington offense is not going to capitalize on those special team blunders that they had.
Right. Make sure you guys leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think. Who do you got winning? What's your spread? All that stuff. We want to hear it. Make sure you guys stay tuned in for all the rest of the content we got.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz, shall we?
Absolutely. Go Jazz.
Absolutely.
They came away with a victory against the 3-30 Detroit Pistons.
Yes, and it was a hard-fought victory. Absolutely. Now, both you and I believe that game should have never been that close.
No, for sure. But former Jazzmen were coming to haunt us, man.
Yeah. Bogey and Houdini both came out.
Yep, Alec Burks
came out pretty hard, which is definitely something I want to talk about because there's a key piece about that. It's about something we're going to talk about later that has to do with that specific game and that specific play.
Excellent.
So I'd love to talk about that. But let's first start off with something that came out today. Actually, I don't know if you heard this or not, but it was announced by Sports Illustrated today that former Utah guard Ricky Rubio has announced his retirement.
Yes, I absolutely love Ricky Rubio, man. I mean, I was a huge fan. The dude he was just all in when he was here. You know what I mean? He gave everything he had every minute he was on the court. He holds a kind of a special place for me. My brother was a huge Ricky Rubio fan. And we really enjoyed a lot of times watching Rubio play on the field. So
nice.
Or on the field. Enjoyed Ricky Rubio playing on the court. Yeah, whatever he was playing. I loved having him on the team. I was sad when the Jazz actually ended up moving him.
Yeah.
So I hope Ricky has a fantastic rest of whatever he's doing. I hope he gets back into basketball. He's a fun player to watch. And I absolutely wish him the best in whatever else he finishes up with.
Absolutely, Ricky. We're going to miss you here, especially those Vivint commercials. Those were great.
The best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The workout one was just
best. Yeah, just the best, man.
Yeah, loved them. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into a little bit more about the Utah Jazz. This happened on actually New Year's Day. Now, a lot of you might have missed this game. We watched this. I was able to watch this game, but a lot of you might have missed it because of the New Year's Six bowl games and the semifinals. So people may not have watched this. But JC is the first player, Jordan Clarkson, to get a triple-double since Carlos Boozer back in 2008, I believe.
Yep, 2008 season.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so
that is quite the haul. That is quite the wait for Utah Jazz fans to see a triple-double happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long way, and it's a great player to get it too. I was hoping Joe Ingles, but
I thought Joe was going to do it so many times, man.
He's so close. But yeah, so as far as a player who so far has had pretty much a down year, right after signing that extension with the Jazz, being able to have a game like that and come up big against Detroit with a clutch 3 last night. What are you thinking about JC's recent play as of late?
I think JC playing well for this Jazz team is critical to their success. Kind of like we were talking about yesterday, and we've got some comments on it. Lauri Markkanen is not the playmaker that you really need in a lot of these positions for the Jazz to be successful.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson can create his own shot from all 3 levels.
Mm-hmm.
He can dribble and get open to shoot a 3. He can quadruple pivot you and fake to get open to get a mid-range shot. And if he gets underneath the basket and there's 4 guys around him, he's going to pivot and pump fake you until he gets a shot.
Yeah, and he will get a shot too.
He's going to get a shot. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely.
Jordan Clarkson can score. He can do it all, and that's what the Jazz need. Sometimes they just need a bucket, right? To get out of a shooting slump, you have a couple guys miss. You start getting down, you give up a couple possessions. The game can get out of hand really quickly. And when you've got someone as good as Jordan Clarkson that can score at will, you need that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's really, really important.
Yeah.
So
I agree. And with that, actually, that was a game against Dallas where last time we played Dallas, we lost by 50 points.
Right.
And then I guess in a roundabout way for the Jazz to celebrate 50 years in franchise history, lost by 50 points. So that was great. But we turned around in that game where you got the triple double and almost beat them by 40 points. So I believe it was like 39 points, pretty close to 40 in that game. Did you hear the controversy around that game though, surrounding Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, I saw a little bit about the Kyrie Irving and the rabbi that had a sign that said he was proud to be Jewish. And
yeah, now this stuff really isn't something that we tend to go into that much, and we're not going to get too far into it, but it is our local team and it is our local news, so I figured we just should at least touch on it, basically about what was said. So the local rabbi, who's well known in the community, brought a sign and sat front row that said, "I am a Jew and I'm proud." The rabbi said that the Jazz made him put the sign down as it created a distraction and interfered with the play of game, which apparently is a code of conduct within the Delta Center for the Jazz. Right. So now Eric Walden of the Salt Lake Tribune also spoke to a Jazz executive anonymously and said that it was Kyrie Irving that complained to the mass security, who told Jazz security, who told them to take the sign down. In a comment with Tim McCannon of ESPN, Kyrie Irving refuted this claim.
Yeah.
So that's
I saw that one today that came out that he's saying that he didn't say anything. There was a little exchange between them while they were on the sideline. I guess Irving was standing right next to him and said something about, look, I am too. And he had, the Star of David tattooed on his wrist or something.
Yeah.
And the other, the fan was just like, cool or something.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Something like that. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think all the political stuff needs to stay outside of the arena. We're there to watch basketball.
Yeah.
We're there to be entertained. Kyrie Irving's a fantastic athlete. He's got plenty of opinions, and you can tune into Twitter and watch all of them that you'd like.
Which is where this stuff really needs to stay.
I agree. I totally agree.
Like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's not like he's walking out on the court, with a shirt on, saying whatever he's saying, like, I believe in a flat earth or whatever, right? He says he's an idiot who says something on Twitter. Not that he's actually an idiot, but he says something on Twitter that's idiotic and anti-Semitic, which could be interpreted as anti-Semitic. He refused it as anti-Semitic, but it can be taken that way. And it's not on the basketball court. So, this is all should stay where it is, which is the Twitterverse or X or whatever you want to call it.
Totally agree. Let's leave it there.
Let's leave it there. And I think the NBA does a really good job about that.
Yep.
In the NFL with all the kneeling and everything like that, and Utah Jazz, when people are sitting out kneeling, the Jazz did that thing where they all just kind of, locked arms and for like 2 years and had the national anthem when everybody else was kneeling and stuff like that and not being out in the court. They just had unity, which I think is a great way for everybody to do it.
Absolutely.
You don't have to make a statement. You can make a statement without having to make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's kind of more where we want to sit on that. Obviously, there's there's articles up on the Trib, Deseret News, and some other places covering that story in greater detail. If you guys feel like chiming off in the comments, letting us know what you think down below, feel free. If we're being insensitive or about something like that, please let us know.
Yep.
But back to basketball.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk a little about the Utah's Jazz most recent resurgence, where they've won 3 in a row, 7 out of the last 10. Right before they hit a road trip where they head to Boston to play the undefeated at home Boston Celtics. The Jazz are currently right now. Don't
say it too loud.
Yeah, don't blink and mix it because you might just miss it. But the Jazz are currently 1 game back of to be tied for a play-in spot.
Yeah,
1 game.
And playing really well, man.
And playing really, really well.
Yeah.
What's your take on all this? What's with the Jazz recent resurgence?
So I think the man that I didn't realize had so much to do with this is Simone Fontecchio, man.
Yes.
I don't. If you're a Jazz fan and you're watching basketball, this 6'7" Italian fella is absolutely tearing it up for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
he's just killing it, man. I mean, he's averaging 21.4 minutes per game. He's shooting the 3 ball with 41.4% efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
He plays lockdown defense. This dude gives everything he has to play defense every single minute he's on the court.
Yep.
He moves. He makes good passes. Simone is just a stud, dude. And he is taking the Jazz. He's almost just shouldering the team and pulling them out of this little slump that they're in.
Yeah.
Him and another player who I'll talk about in just a second.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that player in another second, but that does bring us back to the problem I talked about with you yesterday about what I talked about, the $26 million backpack the Jazz have right now. And
it's a heavy backpack.
It's a heavy backpack, man. And this is what the reason why I want to bring this up is it's pretty simple. Like why is the starting lineup the starting lineup that it is? You know, if you think about it, it should be Keontae George, JC, Larry Markkinen, John Collins, and Walker Kessler. Why is that not our starting lineup? And, you know, the $26 million backpack that is John Collins is that. You can't have if you gotta start him, right?
Yeah.
You gotta start him. He's making $26 million a year. You gotta start him. So, and Walker Kessler's coming back from injury, so you want to slowly bring him in. So what you do is you play John Collins at the 5 because you can't take Simone off of the court right now.
Right.
This guy is
the Jazz are struggling when he's not out there.
No, and you know he's 28 years old. You know, so this is his shot. Right, he's entering his physical prime. This is his shot in the NBA. If he wants to make it in the NBA, this is his chance, and he's going to make every effort of it. So you can't not have him on the floor. You got to play him at the 4. So that puts Collins at the 5, and that kind of basically sets everything the way it has to be. So when you have Collins at the 5, and you have Montecchio at the 4, and you have Markkinen at the 3, then that puts your front court in a mess that you got to figure out, which we'll get into here. You know, I really was hoping that Keontae would have that Donovan Mitchell type rise and just take over the starting role and just run with it.
He's not there yet, though.
He's not ready. I do think his ceiling's higher than Donovan's, though.
I agree.
I do think so.
I do.
But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into like what we want to talk about here. We've teased you guys long enough. Thank you for watching to this part of the video. So we'll go ahead and give you the payoff there. Let's talk about Colin Sexton.
Dude, have you seen a player? I can't remember a player just totally 100% finding himself.
Yeah.
It was like all of a sudden he realized like, this is what I need to do as an NBA basketball player to be successful. And he flipped a switch and he was good.
Yeah. It's nuts. Since he's been in the starting lineup, which is the last like 2 weeks ago, last 14 games or so, he's been insane. His stats have been amazing.
Just crazy, man.
Yeah, he's playing very, very well.
And it's crazy because he's only shooting 34% from 3 right now, which is not a fantastic number. It's a little bit lower than his career average.
Yeah, but it's up from when he was playing with THT.
Yeah.
It's up from like 29 or something like that. So
because he's actually getting looks. And I think that number will continue to rise through the season. If the Jazz can figure out how to create a little bit more space, you know what I mean? And find him in some of those corner shots. But the problem is he's such a good offensive rebounder. I mean, he's 3.5% of the Jazz's missed field goal attempts. He's rebounding.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's in the 82nd percentile. So he's actually in there getting hoops, right? Like he's grabbing rebounds. He's doing everything he can in every situation to continue to attribute to the Jazz's success. And it has been absolutely refreshing as a Jazz fan. Just see somebody give this much effort is what we were missing.
Yeah.
Like the Jazz were terrible to watch because nobody out there even looked like they cared.
No effort.
John Collins is still out there not acting like he cared. But the fact is when you put Colin Sexton on the floor with him, you're like, okay.
Somebody cares. Yeah.
Somebody cares. Somebody's actually out there giving it a run.
He'll get a putback, like you said.
Statistically, you can't take him off the floor because he does average a double-double, right? And like I was telling you last night when we were watching the game, I'm pretty sure like 90% of those come off tip backs where he gets a rebound and a bucket.
Even the defense doesn't realize he's still on the floor.
Yeah, they're like, where is he? Oh, there he. Oh, okay. He just put it back in.
Yeah, he'll have that corner.
Somebody box him out.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll have that putback. But other than that, yeah, it's just one of those things, man. You know, we watched it and they were talking, and in the game they mentioned that he was the what was the contributor of the game? What was that? The
efficiency player of the game. Yeah.
And I'm like, I call BS on that. I pull up my phone. I'm like, yeah, he's a -9 on the plus minus.
Yeah.
He hit a 3, but he let his defender get past him twice for 2 buckets.
And then they throw the ball into him and he dives on it. And then he goes down the floor and turns the ball over. You're just like, who are you, John Collins? And what are you doing? And I'm not completely against John Collins, right?
No,
this guy is trying to turn his career around to get another NBA contract. I think he's young. He's only 24, 25 years old. Like he could be such a good basketball player, but effort is all the Jazz need right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they could purely get effort out of John Collins and just revive that motor, he could actually help this team win ball games because right now he's not.
Yeah. It goes back to the whole thing, like where, you know, we didn't give anything up to get him.
It was a win-win for the Jazz.
Yeah, we're going to be paying him $26 million, sure, you know, but we didn't really give anything up to get him, and he allows us to basically try some options, you know, when it comes to our lineup and stuff like that. So it works out good for that. But like as far as Colin Sexton, one of the things I really like about Colin Sexton, I want to make sure we get on this video, is the fact that it was said by Tony Jones of The Athletic today on ESPN 700 when they did the NBA Daily Assist that is the most coachable player on this team. Colin Sexton is.
I love that, dude.
Yeah, he's comparing Colin Sexton to John Collins and how they're basically kind of the same. They have a lot of the same problems. Like John Collins will miss a defensive read, be like, "Oh my bad, guys," and then that's just it, right?
Yeah.
John Collins Colin Sexton will have the same problem. He'll miss it. He'll miss a defensive switch or something like that and have a bad read, and he'll say my bad about it. But Coach Hardy will get into him. He will yell at him, and he will get in the film room, and he will yell at him in the film room too, and he will internalize that and actually make corrections.
Yeah, he actually goes in and wants to fix it. He wants to be better every single play, but wants to be better every single player.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And it's actually the funny thing is that and the coach, I think we got to give Will Hardy some credit on this too, is that his ability to really kind of put together this lineup and really kind of finalize how the Jazz are playing recently does go a lot to him because how he's setting this lineup and matching these guys up.
Yeah.
With Chris Dunn in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
To go along with
Chris Dunn is a good calming force to come out there and like we were talking about last night, get the offense moving around and actually making adjustments and pushing the ball up the floor. Like Chris Dunn is, I hope that they continue to give Keontae minutes if we're looking purely from a development standpoint.
Yes.
Right. But if we're trying to win ball games, Chris Dunn needs to be on the floor.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And you can't have Olynyk and Dunn on the floor at the same time because they both kind of fill in that same role of making sure the ball's moving. So
right.
But yeah. At the end of the regulation, it was Colin Sexton who did not foul Alec Burke. And you can see Will Hardy on the sidelines jumping up and down, screaming, like, foul him. And Colin Sexton didn't foul him.
Right.
Which forced the overtime in the first place. So, he will make those mistakes, but I think Colin is in a position where he is coachable. He's going to take that into heart, and you will see him make those adjustments going forward.
He'll make an adjustment and get there and be where he needs to be. And I look 100% forward to Colin Sexton continuing to play with the Jazz because I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere either. I hope not anyway.
Yep.
With his recent surgeons, who knows? I think we pretty much both agree that no one's going to offer,
what the Jazz want for him.
What the Jazz want for marketing.
Yeah.
But Colin Sexton and JC, I mean, I've heard some trade rumors. They were talking about JC going to Denver. I've heard some stuff like that. So there's some stuff floating around. I'm not confident that we will not hold on to Sexton. And I originally I didn't care about it, but now I'm really seeing the change in that player. And I really hope he sticks around.
Yep.
But yeah,
absolutely. Let's move it on.
Before we move on,
okay.
The Jazz are going on to a very, very tough road trip.
Yes.
What would this successful road trip be for you? You may be surprised at what my answer is.
How many games they got on the road?
They're playing against Boston. They're playing against Philly. They play against Milwaukee. And then they play Denver. It's 4 out of the top 5 teams in the NBA.
Okay. Out of that 4 games, if they can win one of those, I'll be happy.
Okay. I think there's still a path where they go 0-4.
Yes.
If they go 0-4 and they still show the exact same amount of effort we're talking about here, that's what made Team 49 so great.
Yeah.
Is that the effort was there. We didn't care if they started off 10-3 or they ended the season. We were there for every game because the effort was there.
Yep.
As long as the effort continues to go there, and there's some sort of progression where there's not a blowout to Milwaukee. Who knows? This is not just an 0-4 against the 5 best teams. This is a logistical nightmare for the Jazz too.
Yeah, a lot of back-to-backs, overnights.
Yeah, you're catching Milwaukee on a back-to-back after you just got handed to by Philly. So there's a lot of that going on. But Jazz fans, this recent resurgence, let us know in the comments down below. Let us know what you think.
This could be a rough stretch.
But let us know what you think about the current play. Let us know what you think on the potential on the road record there. And even if they do lose all 4, do you think it's a total L?
Yeah, and make sure you let us know. Who do you think's the biggest factor to the Jazz's, recent resurgence? Is it Simone? Is it Colin? Is it somebody else? Leave us a comment down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're 688 strong, folks. And let's keep that push to 1,000 subscribers because we have that money we want to give away. So make sure you guys are involved in that.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball here. Let's go ahead and pivot into free agency, and we'll kind of cover all that. You got
first question, man. First question for you.
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer.
Okay.
He still believes he is one of the best pitchers in the world. So here's my questions. Number 1, is he? Number 2, can he still help a team in Major League Baseball win games?
Okay, let's take these one at a time.
Okay.
Let's start with the first one. Is he one of the best pitchers in the world? No, he's not. If you were to say is he top 25? Maybe. Top 20? No.
Okay.
Top 10? Absolutely not. Yeah, he won a Cy Young Award in 2020 when he was heavily using the sticky stuff. And he's gone on record. He hasn't gone on record saying he was, but he was like, honest, trust me, just look it up. You'll see that his Cy Young season was very much tied to Spider Tack, like 100%. No, sorry, not Spider Tack. He made his own stuff. So yeah, he'll call you out on that. But yeah, no, he's not one of the top pitchers in the world anymore.
Okay. Can he still help a team win Major League Baseball?
100%. Absolutely. He is an innings eater. He'll go out and shove. He'll give you 7 innings strong. I honestly think that there's not a team in the league short of the people on the bottom who just simply aren't going to try that could not benefit from a Trevor Bauer. Maybe Atlanta Braves don't need him, but pretty much every other baseball team in Major League Baseball could use Trevor Bauer.
And the final question is, will anybody give him a shot?
Yes, I believe somebody will.
You think so?
I think so. The only reason why he's not in the league right now is solely because of the fact that he mouths off so much about the commissioner and Major League Baseball itself. And he's just the locker room antics. Yeah. You know, if none of that's, if it was just the allegations and just what happened to him with the suspension and everything, he'd be in baseball right now, 100%.
Right.
I guarantee you he would be.
Right. Because the allegations have pretty much been wrapped up. They're feeling pretty good about it that way.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much proven that she was coming after him, you know, and that she trapped him.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that he said everything he said about the ownership group and
we do got a previous video on Trevor Bauer. Make sure you guys check that one out.
Absolutely. About, you know, where he may be innocent and all that. And we're definitely not going to get into any of that SA conduct. But yeah, I think that he absolutely was. The only reason why he's not in baseball right now is because he mouthed off a lot, and the Major League Baseball is going to do everything they can to try and keep him out. And just every locker room just wants to know whether or not they actually want to deal with him. And that's going to be another player we're going to have to talk about in free agency here that remains unsigned. That's kind of in the same bandwagon.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my answers.
Excellent. I love it. Make sure you guys leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think of Trevor Bauer, where he lands, if he lands. Is he still top 10, top 20? Darren thinks no. And leave us a comment down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button too.
Yeah. Follow Momentum. They're a great YouTube channel. They do a lot of great stuff over there. Yeah. I just don't think I think he's great. I just don't think he's a top 20 pitcher in the league anymore.
Right.
That's just kind of where I'm at.
Okay. So the Atlanta Braves made a big move.
Yes, they did. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Your favorite team. Let's definitely cover that. So
go Braves.
The Atlanta Braves have made a trade. Now, this happened a little bit ago, but we were off last week. So I appreciate you guys for waiting on us to chime in on that. They made a trade. They traded for Chris Sale. Now, here is an interesting thing. Now, do you know who they gave up for Chris Sale?
I don't.
I think they gave up what I call not a AAA, but a 4A guy for him. But first reaction, what is your take on the Chris Sale trade? What do you think?
Right. The Braves are one of the best pitching teams in all of baseball. This is just one more step. If he can stay healthy, I really think, adding a talented left-hander like this is going to help the Braves keep moving forward.
So the Braves traded away Vaughn Grissom. Now, he was one of their top hitting talents on the Braves.
Okay.
This is what I'd like to call a 4A guy, where he is too good to be in the minor leagues, but just hasn't taken advantage of his chances that he had in the pros.
Can't quite break the cusp to get into a starting role or a major role on a team. And
in his defense, he hasn't really had that many opportunities with the Braves so far, but this guy can be very, very, very good. And the Braves did not give up. They basically did this. I think this was a great trade for Boston. They got a great guy. This is going to be their everyday second baseman starting next season, which, by the way, happens in about a month.
Already?
We're going to have baseball in a month. So
wow.
That is awesome.
That was fast.
But yeah, Vaughn Grissom, great player. I think he's going to be awesome for the Red Sox.
The total trade was Vaughn Grissom and cash considerations, right?
Yeah, I think it was $17 million or $16 million, 16 to 18, somewhere in that range, from the Braves. from the Red Sox went to the Braves.
Right.
So now this actually came out a little bit. I believe it actually came out today. But yeah, they gave him a 2-year extension. We always say there's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal, but they've actually decided to ink them with a 2-year extension worth $38 million. There's an $18 million club option for 2016 for Sale. The Braves are obviously banking on Sale being healthy, coming out of this healthy, because the last accident was kind of a freak accident. He broke his hand or something like that on a bike ride,
right,
and jacked up his arm. That's kind of what he's been. But the signs are already there. Like last year, he had 20 starts. He had a 4.3 ERA, which isn't great, but he had a 30% K rate and a 7% walk rate, which both of those are top 10 in the majors for anybody who qualified with 100 innings or more.
Yeah, that's a lot of striking out, man.
Chris Sale is so you got Chris Sale, you got Charlie Morton, you got Spencer Strider, and there's one more I'm forgetting on that in the Braves rotation. But holy cow, that's a stable of dudes that can just throw
deep.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, fans. Let us know in the comments down below, fans, which Brave pitcher I'm forgetting. It's Charlie Morton, Strider.
I should know this, but I don't.
But anyway,
I mean, I really should.
And with Chris Sale, like, dude, that's a four-headed monster. Plus, you also have Matt Olson. You have the reigning MVP in Ronald Acuna Jr. You have Ozzie Albies. You know, that's who's blocking Vaughn Grisham from coming up at second base.
Right.
You know, they're just, Austin Riley. I mean, that team is stacked. That's why a lot of people, like Fangraphs included, still have the Braves as the number one team to beat in Major League Baseball, in the National League.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Dodgers are in the National League. So the fact that they still have the Braves, some people still have the Braves ranked first, just tells you how good that team is.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Really, really good.
All right. So should we talk top free agents still available?
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll into it.
Okay. So CBS Sports has an MLB tracker.
I've seen this article.
Yeah. Yeah. And they currently have Cody Bellinger as the number 3 top free agent, and he is obviously still available. Yeah. Thoughts? Give them to me.
Cubs need to re-sign him, man. Stop messing around. There's another free agent that we need to talk about here that's on this list that they need to sign as well, and just run it back, man. Cody Bellinger almost single-handedly brought you into a what's the word I'm looking at? Wild cards position,
right?
All by
himself,
all by himself. So I think they need to stop playing around. They need to just sign him, give him his $200 million, and move on. There's a couple of reports out there that the teams that are in on Cody Bellinger are the Cubs, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the San Francisco Giants. Those are the teams that are really in on him still.
Right.
And I heard one crazy report saying that he should sign with the Colorado Rockies.
Just go to the Rockies randomly.
When they signed Chris Bryant, so you're making like, okay, they're going in a rebuild. They trade Alan Arenado, one of the worst trades in Major League Baseball history.
Mm-hmm.
They traded Arenado. You think they're starting a full rebuild? No, they're giving $170 million to Chris Bryant, which is basically what you still owed, Arenado. So why'd you do that? That was just the dumbest trade ever. So you got Arenado. You might as well go in, throw Cody Bellinger in there. He's going to hit 45 bombs. You're going to, get a bit more butts in the seats. The Rockies already have like our 14th in attendance, which is pretty good for a team that sucks. So, I don't know, man. Cubs just need to re-sign him, man. I don't want to see him go to San Francisco Giants. I don't think he wants to go to the San Francisco Giants just because San Francisco as a whole, no one wants to be there. And going through customs every other day to travel in Toronto would just be kind of pain. So I honestly just think that the Cubbies need to make the deal, man. Take a pay cut and just stay there. Right. That's what you need to do.
Okay. What about Matt Chapman?
Okay. So here's another guy that is rumored to be going to San Francisco. I think San Francisco is just trying to sign anybody they can get. They missed out on
Shohei. They missed out on Yamamoto. They're just like, anybody come play for us.
Yeah.
Please.
And it goes on and on and on. And it's not the Giants, it's not their fault. They're offering the same amount of money. Just no one wants to go there because San Francisco is not a destination city right now.
Right.
Not like they used to be anyway. So I actually think there's a good chance that Matt Chapman may end up there. The rumors are they're high on him. They're going hard after him to try and sign him as their third baseman. But I could also see him ending up in Colorado. That's my sneaker pick for him to go to is Colorado.
Wow.
I actually wouldn't mind him on the Dodgers, but Max Muncy, that's his spot. And he hit 35 bombs last year, so you can't not have Max Muncy. So I like Matt Chapman though.
Next, we got a couple pitchers.
Okay.
We'll start with Blake Snell.
He won the Cy Young this year. So he's coming off of a Cy Young Award winner. And
how is he not signed yet?
And he's a Dodger killer, man. He is
Yeah.
a Dodger killer.
How
I
is
don't
he
know
not
why.
signed? What's
There's
going on?
Nobody in the National League wants this guy, and I don't understand why. Well, I understand why because I wouldn't want him either. But early reports had the Angels, Giants pursuing him, but recently it has emerged that the New York Yankees are a potential landing spot for them. Again, just like you said, missing out on Yamamoto.
Right.
They need to go after a big signing in free agency. Why? I don't know. I mean, Yankees front office is still thinking they're the 2009 Yankees and think they can just sign a big free agent and win a World Series.
We got this.
But there's talks that they are interested in Snell now, and he's actually mentioned in private that he wouldn't mind playing for the Yankees as well. Now, he's a Scott Boras client, so Scott Boras tends to go for every dollar he can for his players. He's pretty well known for that. Most Scott Boras clients don't sign with the Dodgers because the Dodgers don't play that game. After giving Shohei $700 million,
but only paying him $2 million a season for the next 10 years.
Yeah, Scott Boras wouldn't go for that.
Yeah,
definitely not going for that one. But yeah,
he's like, so I don't get my cut for 10 more years.
Yeah, I mean he does live in Washington, Snell. So there's a lot of chatter about him wanting to play for Seattle, but I just don't think Seattle's got that. So I honestly still think he ends up in Philly. I really think he does, but I'm saying that he's either going to go to the Yankees or the Giants.
Marcus Stroman is still available.
That is the other character we talked about earlier. We talked about Trevor Bauer. So this guy is a free agent. He shoved for the Cubs. He's the other guy that they need to sign. Just re-sign him, re-sign Belly, and run it back, man. You were so close to a playoff spot last year.
Right.
So close. Just read up those two, pay a little bit of money, and get you guys where you need to go because you were very, very close. Marcus Stroman is a free agent. He does have clubhouse issues. There's a lot of players that don't like this guy.
Okay.
Because he is a clubhouse issue, and he did have some anti-Semitic statements in the press as well, and has said some stuff.
Hanging out with Kyrie Irving.
It must be, but he did say some stuff that's really limiting his pull. Now, they would say he'd like him back at the Mets. Like the Mets would, he'd like to play for the Mets again, but he mouthed off so much to the Mets top brass that they're just like, yeah, no, we don't want that guy.
Gonna be a hard pass.
Yeah, so Stroman, I think he's a great pitcher. I think he's just ran his mouth too much. I think the best option he has is to re-sign with the Cubs, maybe take a pay cut to do it.
Okay, last one. Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, so he is what I would consider the top pitching prospect available.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Absolutely carried the Rangers.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was reported that while he is interested in all teams, his quote-unquote first choice is to stay in Texas.
Yeah.
Other teams that have expressed interest are the Mets, Red Sox, and Phillies. The Yankees have also tested the waters, but they're the ones who originally traded him away in the first place. So the fact
little bit bad blood there, huh?
They may not want a reunion with Montgomery, even though the Yankees may want that reunion. It's pretty clear that maybe Montgomery would not. Here's the problem. He is worth what he wants, and Texas. We talked about this at the Jazz game the other night. Texas is having an issue with their TV deal and may not want to sign him.
Right.
So
until they get their TV deal worked out.
Yeah. So until they get that worked out, so it may not be.
And maybe that's some of the reason that they haven't actually re-signed, or Montgomery hasn't signed anywhere yet. Maybe he does want to stay in Texas, and they're like, "Yeah, we've got to get this TV deal worked out before we can get anything solid on the books."
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Here's
my sneaker about that though.
Huh.
The Rangers aren't the only team in Texas.
Ooh.
You also have the Houston Astros.
Ooh. So he goes to the Astros.
I'm just saying, guys, Texas guys, stop dragging your feet. Just sign the guy. You know, give him a 2-year high AAV, blow it out of the water, give him the highest money per pitcher for a 2-year deal while you work out your TV deal, and then extend him before that happens.
Yep. That man put you on his shoulders and won a World Series.
Yeah, exactly. So gotta pay the guy.
Yep.
Did you see the Lucas Giolito signing?
Giolito signed with the Sox.
Yeah, so we did. We thought the Angels did a good job in going after this guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did not end the season well. Did not help the Angels win because I just think that's the Angels. I don't blame Lucas Giolito for that at all.
Right.
I just think the Angels just don't know how to win. It's in their blood. It's in their DNA. But Lucas Giolito signs a 2-year, $38 million deal to join the Red Sox. I don't know what the Red Sox are doing, but they are not really competing. I mean, that second base pickup, great. That's a rookie pickup to play second base. You traded away.
It's like one of those moves that, like, in the future, this could really work out for us really well. But are you trying to win now or not? Like,
so why
you signed Giolito to 2 years, $38 million? Are you trying to win or not?
Yeah, so I don't understand why. First of all, why Giolito went there,
Right.
and then second, what they're thinking. So I thought that was kind of weird. I thought that was very, very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that's all interesting, man. That's what the remainder of the top 10 free agents that are available still. There's some down the lower. Actually, Josh Hader, I want to talk about that. He's the closer for the Padres.
Yep.
He's been rumored to maybe go to Texas, but he wants like top closer 5-year, $120 million, and just nobody's going to give him that. So I don't know.
So he may end up with the Dodgers.
No. I mean, there is talks about him going to the Dodgers, but there's no way the Dodgers are giving him that. No way. No. Just no. Okay?
Just no.
No. I really like what the Yankees are doing though. They trade for Juan Soto, and they're going to have a resurgence from their pitcher from the pitchers that they had. I really think the Yankees could do well. I think that's where he ends up. I think he's going to be a closer for the Yankees. That's where I think he goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we have for baseball. You got anything else for me?
That's what I got, buddy.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up with a little bit of Oakland A's. Let's talk about them now. OGs, remember that the Oakland A's video is one of our highest performing videos on this channel for some odd reason.
Weird enough.
We mentioned that they may be moving, and all of a sudden people watched, so that was great. But we have a little bit more information on the Oakland A's. Now, the Oakland A's, they have a lease on the Oakland Coliseum that runs through next season.
Right.
They've already got the approval from the board and everything to move to Vegas and all that. But since then, kind of in a middle finger move, Oakland has approved the formation of a new team called the Oakland Ballers. They're a Pioneer League team. They're not a major league team. So like the Bees, like the Salt Lake Bees,
right?
They're like a AAA team.
Yeah.
And they remember the Salt Lake Trappers?
No.
Okay. So it goes a little bit farther back than that. But basically there's AAA, AA, single A, rookie ball, Pioneer League.
Okay.
It's a ways down there, right?
Yeah.
So they have formed a team, and they're going to be playing in Oakland, and they wanted to use the Coliseum. The A's are not going to let them use the Coliseum. When they're not playing, even when because they got a game that they're playing in Arizona, and the Ballers want to use the Coliseum. And because they have the right of refusal, they are blocking the newly formed Pioneer League team, Oakland Ballers, from using the Coliseum when they're not using it.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I love A's fans, and I love the team, but oh my gosh.
I just feel like any opportunity to get people into the stadium, you do.
Yeah, I don't understand why the A's are blocking this. Maybe get share of the gate revenue. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do, Fisher. Just sell the damn team. Sell the team to somebody who actually cares about what they own. Just, what he's gonna do is he's gonna move the team to Vegas, wait out the 3 or 4 years that he has.
Yep.
Until he can sell the team. Then he's gonna sell the team for a massive profit. When he could have just sold the team for a massive profit already in Oakland.
Yep.
Or somebody, it's just like, dude, this Fisher guy just he irks me. Let us know in the comments down below, fans, A's fans, what you think about this. Would you go out and support the Oakland Ballers, a Pioneer team, that just to kind of give the middle finger to, the A's ownership group there? And what do you think about the A's blocking the ability for the Ballers to play in a Coliseum?
That's crazy.
All right. Well, once again, folks, new year, new us. Welcome to 2024. I hope you guys had a happy new year. Look forward to more content coming from us. Again, if you are watching this on YouTube, keep in mind this is a podcast. The full podcast will be available on our YouTube channel underneath our playlist labeled podcast.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. Make sure you subscribe. We're on the grind to 1,000 followers. 1,000 subscribers. And, once we get there, we're going to give away that money. Make sure you guys stay tuned in. We appreciate all your guys' engagement. It's been awesome. It's getting better. And hopefully you guys enjoy the channel as much as we enjoy doing it.
Absolutely. And all that said, folks, my name is Darren. This is AJ, and this has been the first edition of the 2024 DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.